like we call it the packing workbench. The way we designed it is pretty cool because you can decide to pack. It's kind of that WMS function of just putting items in cartons and then cartons on a pallet and then shipping the pallets out to an LTL or whatever
Yes.
with whatever documents you want to have it, pack list, BOL, whatnot, right? The way we designed it is you have full control over what you view as packable. So, for example, on this screen, what you see is a mixture of real transaction line, right? All those what we call frame, like those chair, right? These are true item on a sales order that will need to be packed at some point. But they have all those cushion that for whatever reason they don't want to keep in stock, and thus they are all custom records. And NetSuite WMS, not a chance for you to figure a way to pack those cushion, with chairs. Just will never
Yeah,
work,
I do recall the
right?
conversation about all the cushions and the way he wanted to do the packing, and that this was a big deal for him to get this all right.
Yep. And here it is. Now, with this solution, you can essentially tell any customer who wants a packing station that wherever your data live, whatever you want to pack, you can do it with the right logic. We can just decide what
So,
is packable and what is not.
so right now I see some indentations going. I see one, two, three, and so forth. So what's the origin
Yep.
source of these things, and what's the indentation? How did they get in those relationships?
So let's take number 5, for example. Okay. So here, what you have is this is my sales order line. It's a chair, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And that chair points to, I don't want to go into all the details, but so let's say a fabric of how the cushion needs to be built with, right? Just
Okay.
so they have, I don't know, a lot of foam on one side, a lot of fabric on the other side, and their real work order is just to make cushion out of it, right? But once the cushions are made, they create those cushion which live as custom record under the chair. So it really what it means is this chair right here
Hmm.
has, for each chair, it has one seat cushion and one back cushion. Because I have 24 chair, 24 seat cushion, 24 back cushion. Could be
You need
like
24.
two. Yeah, exactly. Could be,
And
a multiplier of two
and
if you needed
and
to.
in his implementation, he wanted a custom record under that sales order line.
Correct.
And thus,
Yes.
in essence, but does he have a concept of a bill of materials that's necessary against that
Nope.
sales order line?
Nothing.
So
No,
how do
nothing.
but how do we know that that chair needs both a back and a front?
That's what they manage up front, like in the what they call their kind of work order sheet or whatnot. It's just
Is there logic someplace? Because it's got to mimic a bill of materials at some level, or it's all still
uh,
institutional. Meaning
institutional.
they know they need a front and a back. So
They know they
he
need a
didn't, he
front and
didn't want to
back.
go that far, but he's saying I can hang anything off of it. So he's
Yep.
got the freedom and flexibility right now.
Yep. He didn't want to go in the, okay, how much you consume of that fabric and that foam to make this. He
Or
didn't want to go there. It was like,
but
let me just click a button and say, okay, I made 24 of this, 24 of
but
that.
but but did he do that? That's on another place. In other words, you're just showing the packing
Yes.
instructions right now. It's already
Yes.
somewhere else he did that relationship earlier
Correct.
on. You're just
Yes.
expressing it here, correct?
Exactly. Yes. I just want to tell the floor people this is what you need to pack, right?
Okay, we got to get it into a packaging arrangement to deliver.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And I'm just, wiring up CRE on top of it to help the people go on the floor and pack it and pick it.
Oh,
Let's see if it,
you're trying to create the printed instructions like a traveler to help know where that's going to go. So it sits there printed with it.
yeah. So that's what I'm working on now. So to finish this up, but the idea is, okay, go into your warehouse, go do your picking, bring it all up to that staging area ready for packing. But this is what you need to go pick, right? It's all in this list, and I'll tell you where it is and so forth based on where I can pull the data. Either I pull it from the inventory ledger because it's a real inventory that got received on a PO, or it's a custom record just pointing to a work orders station that someone finished the cushion, whatever it is. It's all consolidated in one place, right? On this kind of pick list.
And this is a pick list for the organization called Corporate Contract Hospitality.
Yep.
And its essence, it's their order.
Yes, it's their
This is
order.
still just
Yep.
the pick list. This isn't necessarily the
It's
pack
just a
list.
pick list. No, this is the pick list because now when you talk about packing,
Hmm.
the truth is, well, you have two model. One is, let's start with the more elaborate one. The more elaborate one would be you have a system that learned or that who knows all your dimensions and everything you have in your system, like in the Amazon of the world, and will say, okay, now in order for you to be super efficient in your packing, you should pull those boxes and put those items in those boxes because that's how you'll forget it for this kind of client. This client, what is the truth for them is the people on the floor, they know how to pack stuff, right? They've been
Right.
packing it forever.
So it's going to be the classic sort of in his business, he's got a lot of institutional knowledge. So that's been his
Mhm.
approach, and he's not prepared to sort of break out of that institutional knowledge, but he needs help in select areas. So he wants to be nimble. He wants to be flexible. He
Yep.
doesn't want to be forced to think about it in our conventional way.
Yep. So now here, for example, what I'm saying is, and this is kind of the breakthrough, quote unquote, for him. But imagine here what you do is, and it works with barcode. Okay, so that's where what we're doing. So you can just scan. But now I'm doing in DUI. Okay, so you just tell me how have you packed one carton? In this one carton, what I did is I've put seven of the dining chair in that carton, seven cushion in the carton, and seven of this. That's one big carton, let's say, okay?
Oh, so in essence, though, this is not to plan them out. It's after they did it. This is after the fact.
Correct. But then I could say I made four of this, right? So now I have all my check, and now I'm just consuming four times. So now all these items are now fully packed because they were 28 pack, 7 bar carton, 4 cartons total, full 28. And then I can get another one. I can just say, okay, well, let's pack all of this, pack all of this, and all of this all in one carton. Let me get another carton and just say, okay, here I want to have two of this, right? Two cushion of this, two cushion of this, and I want to have, 12 of those, right? And now I have, 20, 24 of those cartoons, right? So now on my second round of design, I figured out a way to just have the most simple architecture to hold all of that. So the way I'm doing it is essentially just by creating linkages. Like I have 3 records that manage all of this, and the only thing that is really holding something together is linkage.
Well,
So
you're using linkage records. In other words, they're transactional elements that say you're committed to that, but they cross-reference, and you're holding the cross-references and the pointers and the quantities.
yeah, exactly. So pointer from, it's all IDs, right? But from one ID
Yep.
to a package and how
Yep.
many package you have, number of package and total packed, right? So
Makes
that's my
total.
linkage
Yep.
and my package. So that's all there is. Like I'm not doing anything funky in a database. I'm just like all of those are just linkages.
Yes, that makes total sense. And so ultimately, though, I can see you doing this, but also the fact that you're saying it packed and packed and packed, there's nothing else to do
Mhm.
in NetSuite because we're not even in the item fulfillment yet. We're still in sort of the
Correct.
pack phase, correct?
Yes. Let me just put some, dims in here and maybe some pound like this. And here, let me just do the same thing. Okay, so now I have cartons. Now I want to go to my pallets. So, and I really like the progress bar, right? So I
Oh,
can
that's
see,
cool.
how much I've packed. I also have a manager view. So it's just, from the manager standpoint, you can see, all your orders that are being either packed at the moment. And now back to the one I was on. Now I go to the pallet station. So now I just, flip. It's just like 3 panel, right? But now I show two or the other two, right? So I really like the concept now. So I flip to pallets. So now my cartons become on the left side, my pallet on the right side. And now what I do is, well, let me construct a pallet. So I want, 4 of those cartons on my pallet. And maybe I want, half of those cartons, 6 of those on that pallet and then another pallet for whatever is left, right? So now I have all my cartons have been put on a pallet. I'm ready to ship.
You're not giving a license number for it or something. Sometimes they want to do that, or he's not going there. It's
Yeah.
easy to do that.
Uh, that's where I'm going now. We are talking about, okay, how do we print the carton label and the pallet license plate and packing list? That's where I'm going with the BOL. But ultimately, this is like the end state. Now, the next action would be ship.
which would be ultimately now just finally getting the item fulfillment.
Correct.
Okay, so I actually see the power of the packer and the pallet generator, which is really nice. It's very, very visual. Now you're still doing work form, it seems like.
Again, what I'm seeing all the time with clients, once you get something up in front of their eyes, it's just now their ideas come up. And I also have ideas.
So the creativity function makes it more enjoyable, and it certainly breathes life into it.
We hope you found these insights helpful. If you're ready to get more out of your NetSuite investment and unlock untapped potential in your business, start your journey with Prolecto. Contact us today.